Hey, it's your girl Barbie J. Welcome to my channel. Hey there everybody, it's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama Zatima, Season 4, Episode 13, Drive Me Crazy. And the synopsis for this episode reads, Fatima and Angela have a heart-to-heart conversation about their love lives. This is true. And Nathan's late-night joyrides end. This is true too. Now, before we get started, if you're new here or returning here and have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, which is a thumbs up button, write a comment, join the conversation, and share the video because sharing is caring and you want to help this sister's channel grow. Don't you? Don't you wanna? Don't you wanna? Anywho, this episode starts off with Tony being arrested in the courthouse for what ends up being parking tickets. But he yipping and yapping too daggone much. Everybody's telling him to shut up, shut up, shut up. And he just keep talking. It was a mistake. It was an accident. I'm a monster. And then Zach is like asking Fatima to try to help him. And she's like, I'm not an attorney yet. But Tony realized he didn't have any parking tickets, and who got the parking tickets on his car was dumb behind Nathan. But what I'm not understanding is, if Nathan's the one who accrued those parking tickets, shouldn't he be the one giving that $3,000 to Tony? And Tony shouldn't be really getting arrested. Nathan should be bailing him out. But instead, Tony and his crazy self calls Mr. Tyrone. And Tony's walking around like he's scared to make a phone call and say something. And Mr. Tyrone answers and wants to know what's going on. And when Tony tells him he's in jail, he's like, for what? And he's like, parking tickets. He said, and he trying to get money out of him to bail him out. He said, what happened to all that money you had? He said, I don't have it anymore. And that's the money he put on that lady's doorsteps, trying to make things right. And Mr. Tyrone finally told him to shut up before he say something. He said he gonna come down there and bail him out before he get everybody in trouble. You know, I said, damn, Tony is weak. Talking about they gonna break me, they gonna break me. You're in there for parking tickets. Chill, bro. Chill. Then we have Fatima in the courthouse apologizing to Zach for not telling him ahead of time about Leslie stalking her and stuff. And he was saying how he was upset about it because anything could have happened. That crazy girl could have did something to her. And she was like, you're right, you know. So she said she's going down and get a temporary restraining order against Leslie. And Zach's like, what's that going to do? And she said, it's basically for protection for him, to be honest. She said, because if she does it again, it's a felony. And she said, and if you decide to stand your ground, you'll be protected because she kept coming and wasn't honoring that restraining order. So then Zach says he gets it because he's trying to protect her, but then she's trying to protect him because she don't want him to go to jail for protecting her. And then she's raising her child alone. So now we see Angela in the parking garage of the law firm where she works. And Sean walks up behind her with these beautiful roses. He said he thought he'd bring her something to brighten her day. And she loved them until these three women walked by and said, oh, like that is so sweet. And she's like, damn, Sean, you got us on Front Street like that. I'm sitting there going, what is wrong with you, Angela? The man brought you some beautiful flowers. The next thing you know, they're going back and forth about he not her man again, and he wants to get to be her man, and he's like, I'm trying to get to know you the right way. I'm not even having sex. She said that's a problem right there, and all this stuff. And she gave him his flowers back after something he said. And then when he was finally leaving, then she wanted the flowers back, and he left. And next thing you know, Fatima shows up and said, was that Sean? Yeah, that's Sean. And she's like, he up here embarrassing me. She's like, come to my office. They sitting in the office, and she's getting upset because the man gave her flowers. And Fatima's telling her she cray-cray. And she's like, you judging me? She said, I ain't trying to judge you. Then she said, yeah, I am, because the man is doing something nice. It's called a kind gesture. What is the problem? And then in so many words, Angela admitted she didn't think anybody would want her. And she's talking about her size. That's what it's all about. Because y'all remember in the previous season or whatever episodes, she was taking that weight loss shot. She was sticking it in her stomach or her thigh or something like that. So, anywho, Now we go to Zach and Nathan dropping Connie off at her temporary housing for now. And we learn that Fatima's talking to her caseworker to find her like some permanent housing for her and the children. And Nathan offers to take her to her chemo session. She said her next one is on Friday. And then Zach tells her, if you need anything, please call us, whatever it is. And he said, we're family. You don't have to keep thanking us. And she promised that she would call. Now back to Fatima and Angela. Fatima's trying to talk some sense into Angela because she told her she was tripping. And she's trying to let her know she can't live with the feeling that she thinks these men are there to hurt her. She has to open up her heart. And she was like, I get it. You know, after Fatima's talked more sense into her, she got it. And then Fatima told her about Leslie, how she got a TRO. So just in case she comes back around, Angela said, yeah, we'll call the police while whooping her ass. I said, oh, snap. And so the ladies hug, say they love each other, and Angela goes back to her office. So now we see Zach getting off a phone call and he's excited about it. So he calls Preston and Bryce into the office and lets them know that he got the inspector. He wants to know the next steps. They're saying that he had to meet the owner and they're going to set up an appointment, like a dinner for them. And Zach's not sure if he can go because if something happens with Fatima, he doesn't know. So he told them, give me the phone number for the guy. While they're in there talking in Zach's office, here comes Charles knocking. And Bryce is like, what is he doing here? And so Zach said, this is Fatima's bodyguard. But this fool decided to go and try to sleep with. And then he stopped himself. He said it doesn't matter who he slept with because he's getting fired. And then Bryce was like, he was sleeping with Angela. And Zach is like, how'd you know that? He said, because I went over there this morning and he was there. And so now Bryce started this wanting to fight him and stuff. And then Preston picked him up and carried him out of the office. And then Charles yelled something to Bryce. And Zach told him like to chill. He said Angela got Bryce all messed up in the head. And he said, I can understand why. You know, like it was good. He said, I ain't expected to be that good. And Zach's like, whatever. Okay, dude, stop. So he told him he was getting fired. He would give him 2 weeks pay and he would just hire him for special events. Because the guy was like, please, Mr. Taylor, you know. And then he told him, let me give you a word of advice. Never sleep with the client's friend, okay? He said, lesson learned. And then he left. And then the episode ends with Fatima coming home from work. Zach's in the kitchen cooking. And he's like, you want a foot rub? And she said, no, I think I need a little bit more than that. And he was rubbing her stomach. Then he looked at her eyes and she was talking about like some nookie. And he was like, where you want to do it? Trying to go up the stairs. She said, ain't nobody here. We can do it wherever. So they made out in the kitchen, the living room, wherever. I was like, all right now, enjoy yourself to me. Yeah. Anyway, then they pass out on the couch and they sleep. And Fatima woke up hungry, wanting food, trying to get Zach up. And then they heard this loud crash. And Zach get up there butt naked, got a pillow in front of his junk, and he got a gun in his hand, and he sees a brick on the floor in the kitchen, and the brick looked like it has a note attached to it. And so now we all know what that's about. It's got to be that crazy behind Leslie. That's why they brought her up in the episode with Fatima getting that TRO against her. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was pretty good. I like these Zatima episodes. They're really fast moving. You get 1 or 2 days in one episode. You know what I mean? So put your 2 cents down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. And I will see you all in the next video. It's your girl Barbie J saying please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.